Hey everyone. Sorry, I'm having internet problems today. I'm gonna scoot down a little bit here. Yeah, so internet problems, lovely, huh? So, guys, I'm bringing you this live event. If you guys have been following me on Facebook, and I encourage you guys to follow me on Facebook, because you'll know what's going on my channel. I finished up my Drak last night, and I'm hoping to maiden it tomorrow. So, I thought I would just go ahead and show you guys what I've done on the Drak. And I also had some questions from last Q&A, so I will go ahead and start to answer some of those questions. So, like I said, the best way to follow me, guys, now is not on Twitter. It's not on any of the other social media platforms. Hey, Livu. But mainly, Facebook is where you're going to find all the information about my channel, things that are coming up on my channel. I meant to get on here a little bit earlier so I could show some of my quads. Somebody asked me what quads I have. And I know you guys know that I have some quads that are sent to me and some that I buy, with my own money. And I'm sure you guys would be interested on which ones I keep that come to me and which ones I actually buy with my money. And okay, the volume's really low. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn this up. I'm using a different microphone today, so let me know if this is going to help out. See, this is it's like the microphone I use for my voiceovers on my videos, and I'm this is plugged into my iPhone. So let me know if that's a little bit better, and if it helps, guys, I'll just go ahead and hold this because I don't have like a lapel mic or anything like that. So better now, sweet. Let me know if I'm peaking, if it's getting distorted or anything like that. All right, so I tell you what, guys, I'll just hold the microphone here because I know it's crappy when there's not good audio. So had a great weekend. Didn't get to fly at all this weekend, but I've been doing a lot of flying with the Emax Baby Hawk. That thing's really, really awesome. Unfortunately, I blew an ESC. You know how sometimes when you land in the grass and you try and rearm, and you try and fly out of it. I landed and tried to rearm, and I think that one motor had been stopped, and I think I tried to throttle up, and I think I burned out in the ECA. So anyway, if you guys know Brian Shiakori from Facebook as well, he's one of the guys I do a lot of my micro flying with. He's also one that we did a fly in this office as well. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer. I'm going to aim the camera down at my Drak, and what I'll do is I'll put this microphone somewhere near my mouth so you guys can hear it, because this is like a Cartoid microphone, and it kind of just gets right here. I had it kind of down here, and I'm sure that's why the volume level was low. If you guys are interested in high quality mics, ones that can get plugged directly into an iPhone or your iMac, this one is really awesome. So this is called the Apogee 96K microphone. I think they have an updated version of it as well, but it's really simple and it's very, very nice. It ran me about close to $200 back in the day, and that was probably about 2 years ago. So there could be some better options, but I like the fact that you can plug it directly into your iPhone or your iMac and just go straight onto whatever media that you're filming, or whatever film that you're using, instead of using a separate there's called a Zoom microphone, which creates a separate track which you have to then coalesce with your video, and then see, bad sound if you talk in the back of the microphone. Yeah, this is a directional microphone. So what I'm gonna do right now, give me a moment, you guys can talk amongst yourselves, and we will do a thing like Matthew does. We'll do a shout out corner, or we'll do a shout out to you guys who are in the who are with us right now. So let me just go ahead and point the camera down at the Drak, and we'll get started. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being with me. This is really awesome. I'm glad you guys can take out a few minutes out of your day to join me in my office here. My Workbench is just horrible right now. So it's right after a build, so it's going to be kind of crazy. So, all right. So let me see if I can aim this microphone up towards me. All right. Let me know if the audio sucks. Let me turn down the light so it's not quite so glary as well. Hang on. like I said, guys, if you're following me on the Facebook group, on my Facebook page, you will have seen this already. So a lot of times you get a lot of the pre, a lot of the stuff goes on to Facebook before I ever put it on YouTube. So all right, so let me see if I can do this without hitting the microphone too many times. Okay, so you guys will see in the Facebook group, I tried to emulate a paint job of an airplane that I saw online, and I did an okay job, but I think I'm, like I said in the Facebook group, or my Facebook page, I think I missed the mark a bit. The paint is gunmetal gray. Um, this is the blaze yellow, which is basically bright orange. So the orange is a little off. It's a little too bright for my taste. But I really like this gunmetal gray. It's like a slate black almost. You can see this is direct black right here, the Elevon. So the slate just takes it from that kind of silvery color that the Draks come in, and it makes it just more of a smooth tone. And actually, I was debating whether I should actually laminate this or not, but I decided to laminate the whole thing. I actually laminated the body, everything, and man, it laminated really easily. I loved it. I did make one mistake here on the bottom. You'll see that I have a corner here, and I forgot to tape off this corner to make it rounded like this. It's kind of funny. So this airplane, it's ready to go. It's ready to fly right now. The only thing I have to do is get the CG on. I have the 3300 milliamp battery pack in the front, and it's not heavy enough, actually. I need to probably put my run cam on the front just to balance it out. So I'll just go ahead and undo this here. So with all of my maidens, guys, I always what I like to do is I like to do it with no FPV gear and just with a standard receiver, or as you guys know, I like the orange receivers. So I'll just show you what I have going on in here. So it's really simple. So all I have right now is my orange receiver here, the right wing 40 amp ESC here, and the motor, and that's it. I mean, it's really simple. It's about as simple as wings get. So I'm gonna do a line of sight maidens first. After I get everything trimmed up really nicely, I'm going to go ahead and add in the FPV gear after that. I really like to get my planes flying well. I did this with the FX79, the FX61. I did this with the Mini Talon, the Cloud Surfer. I do that with every single one of my my airplanes. So you guys cannot believe how well this goes together. I mean, it's such a refined kit. I mean, people always ask, well, why do you have to pay so much for such an airplane like this? Once you get it in your hands and you feel the quality of a model like this, it's really pretty insane. I have to say that, as you guys know, I had a large size Drak, and when I built that Drak, I didn't do the RC Aviation. I didn't use the stock setup from Right Wing. This time, I decided I'm going to get the Right Wing motor and the Right Wing ESC. I figure since he's got the thing tuned and balanced, and I wish I would have done that last time, I'm going to go with this one this time. So this is a 7.5 prop. This is kind of a cheapy prop. I'm borrowing this, or I'm you guys know Riff from the RTNO group. He's a buddy of mine who lives locally. He gave me this prop because I'm all out of APC 7x5 props. It's a 7x5 prop that goes on a speed plane, so hopefully that'll do really nice. So there's nothing under these guys right now. Yeah, so I'm using the HS225 Metal Gear servos in the wings here, and it fits the pocket just perfectly. You can see that. Really nice. I have the minimal throws on the ailerons here. Let me just take this, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug in a battery. I'll just plug in this little 1300. So I'll just show you what I have going on for the throw. Just to let you guys know, I have the throttle cut out, so I have the throttle cut on, so I'm not gonna accidentally hit my throttle. Throttle's right there, and the throttle cut is on. So, okay, so let me just show you real quick. So let me see here. Okay, so right now I have everything in the lowest rates right now. So there is my, there's right and left. Here is up and down. And so if I go up, excuse me, if I do my ailerons, that's the lowest. And there is the highest rate right there. So there's high rates. High rates is only 75%. So let's see here. Let's do the rates on the elevator here. So here's the lowest rate right here. And here is medium, and here is high. High, medium, low. So I have that set up on a 3-position switch just so, you know, if I have low rates and it's not high enough for me, I can always bump it up, which is really nice. And if it's too high, I can bump it down lower. So what everyone has told me is that you need a lot of elevator, but very, very little aileron. So that's a way that you can get that straight off the bat. So here we are, guys. So like I said, I like the color scheme. It's really cool. It's maybe not quite as much my style. I'm not as happy with these stripes right here. It makes it look a little bit dorky to me. But I do like the color combination, the gray with the white and the orange. Oh, Matthew Arkborn's here. Hey, what's up, buddy? Okay, now that Matt is here, hang on a second, guys. We got to do a shout out corner. We got to do an homage to Matthew. Oh. Okay, you're tapping on the iPad. All right, so let's see. Good afternoon, Matthew, Roderick, Stick Mix. Let's see. I'm gonna do it with my Matthew Ogborn accent here. Good morning, Davey or FPV. Relaxin' FPV. Hi. Let's see. RC Aviation. Roderick. Daniel Knight. Stick Mix again. Oh, Mogmog. I don't know who Mogmog is. So welcome to the group, guys. Stifler FPV. Let's see, who else do we have? Don't mind me as I just stare lovingly into your eyes. Stacy Abshire, how's it going? Yeah, messy is a sign of genius. Yeah, I hope so. Blackie Chan, hot damn. Said, what a beauty. Oh, thanks, Blackie Chan. If you guys don't know Blackie Chan, 88, check out his channel. He does some amazing stuff. I know you guys have heard me say that before. 250 FPV, of course. Anybody else? Dig EJ, Diggie. Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah. So actually, speaking of the mess behind me, and Livu is a guy who I fly with all the time. Him and his son come out. Two monsters. Hey, how you doing? Blackie Chan again. I think that is it, actually. So hang on a second. My nose. Why is it that when you're doing a live event that your nose starts itching like crazy? All right. So, speaking of the mess behind me, guys, I'm actually in the process of actually clearing out this whole side of my studio. It's kind of my studio. Oh, my nose. But yeah, so I'm working at clearing this area out so I can have more of a work like a maker space, you know. I actually want to take my table over here, and instead of having it going this direction, I have it coming out from the wall so I can have a workstation on both sides. So I can actually have maker days here, where build days, where people can bring their airplanes if they have questions about it, and people can also bring their quads and check that out as well. Now, all right, so hang on a second. I had a couple of questions. Oh man. Oh yeah. Okay. Look, I've got notes. The show notes. Matthew will have an idea about what that is. All right. So let me move the camera back just a little bit here. See if I can't knock us off the thing. Okay. All right. So somebody had a question about how. It was mainly about my Corsair. You guys know my Corsair, how I have it set up with FPV and pan. I have a tilt on it. I have a pan on it. And I'm going to bring the model over here in just a second, but the question was, how do I power my FPV gear if I don't have a flight controller? And that's a good question for people who are quad pilots that have no idea what's going on with airplanes. So let me just show you how I did it. It's actually pretty cool, I think, and it's a very easy way of doing it as well. So let me just grab my plane real quick. All right. The Corsair, my favorite airplane, my favorite warbird, I should say. So basically, I have this pod that's on the top right here, and as you can see, I have a tilt camera, I have a pan camera, and it's tied into the rudder servo, the rudder. So I have my rudder disabled, so every time I turn, I can actually just rudder over and look through my turns, which is really cool. And I know you guys have seen this on the channel before, so let me just take this off real quick. And as you can see, I've got my rudder, this is my rudder servo cable going into my receiver. And the other thing that I have right here is a balance lead that's going in to the camera, that's powering the camera and the VTX. So let me just put this down real quick. All right, so this Amway camera, it's got a video transmitter on the back, and it has a camera in the front, and I've got the antenna out the front, at the top, and basically it runs off of 3S, and I have a JST connector here, which it runs off of. So this JST connector is taking 12 volts into the camera and to the VTX, and it powers it. So while I'm flying, I have this little connector that I made it's going to be plugged into the balance lead of the 3S battery that I'm running. So what you do is you just run the positive and negative lead, the black to the black side, you'll see that on your battery, the very outside pin, and the positive to the outside pin on this side. So black on this side and red on this side. So that's how I power it, and it works out really well. So you don't need a flight controller. You don't need to plug it into your receiver. That wouldn't really work because you don't get enough voltage through there. And then, like I said, I have my rudder servo, which is my rudder channel, which is controlling the pan. So that's basically how it's done. It's very, very easy. Now, if you were running a 4S battery, you would basically run the negative lead to the outside pin over here, and you would run the positive lead to the third pin over, not the fourth. If you take it from the fourth, it will give you 16 volts instead of 12 volts. So that's basically how I did it. Hey, Flu FB. Riff, how's it going, dude? Riff made it, yay! So if you guys are just joining us, and you can basically see this whole video on YouTube later on. The Corsair, yes. All right. So guys, as you might know, I'm going to be doing these live events, hopefully Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right around noontime. And it's just kind of to go over the things that I have going on my channel right now. Now, I had another question. The Martian 2, and what did I expect? So some of you guys have caught the video on this Martian 2, which is a pretty cool frame, but it had some crazy milling errors, and actually one of the arms is thinner than all of the rest of them. Now this is a $25 frame, probably $23 actually. So, and one of the comments in the video was, "What did I expect?" And I wrote them back. I said, "This is exactly what I expected." So the top plate of this quad, it was milled horribly. I mean, I had to basically take a diamond file and refile out all the little corners that are in here. So is it going to affect the way this thing flies? Absolutely not. The flight controllers are so good these days. You can have little inconsistencies in these frames, but I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm a cheap bastard, and I cannot pay $80 to $100 for a carbon frame. It's just not. It's not in my budget. So that's why I bring these things to you guys. I put some decent components on it. I fly it, and I tell you guys what I think about it. And I'm going to fly this one. Hopefully with the new EMAX motors I got. I may put those EMAX motors on a different quad. I have also some Lumineers, and I also have some EMAX, the 2400, 2400 kV motors to go on this as well. I'm sorry, my nose is itching like crazy. Hang on. So yeah. So tell me. I mean, do you guys? Are you guys like me? Like, you know, you look for the best deals. That's why I posted that video this morning on the FX79. The FX79, guys. If you like that, and Matthew, I put a note in that video. I said, hey, you have no excuse not to get an FX79 now. It's $89. That's $40 cheaper than what I bought it for. So I feel like I was gypped. They're actually charging $7.02, something like that, for shipping now. And like RC Aviation told me this morning in a note, he said, so that's cheaper than a run cam. You can buy an entire FX79 for the price of a run cam. Isn't that insane? I'm getting notifications. So so anyway, the other thing we're doing with this build here is this is called the Flycolor S, and this is a stackable system that keeps your flight controller and your VTX and your it's a 30 amp 4-in-1 ESC. My problem is that all the wires these days don't run long enough to get to this here, so I'm gonna have to extend all my motor wires. It's just a pain in the ass. I hate it. All right, hang on a second, guys. All right. So Eric Champlain, he asked me a question about what quads do I use, and oh, hang on a second. I got my failsafe going off on my Drak here. So I have to show Matthew Ogborn my Drak here. Hang on a second. Matthew, did you see my Drak? Did you check out my Drak, dude? Freaking awesome, isn't it? Ah! I love the look of this airplane. I can't wait to fly it. Hopefully tomorrow. And if I'm gonna fly it tomorrow, I might do just an impromptu live, stick this thing on a tripod like Matthew does, and I might just fly it. You know, and like I was saying, Matthew, is I don't put any FPV gear on it to start with. I just fly it line of sight. So woohoo! All right. So so what quads do I have? What quads do I fly? Let's start off. You guys know the one that I did 115 miles an hour with? That's the MRM Reaper. That one I won that one in a contest. Pretty cool, huh? So I fly that one. This is the X210, which is the direct copy, not a direct copy, but this is the V+. It's the second version of it. It's basically an outright copy of the Sharpoo frame, and it flies great. It's one of my go-to quads. In fact, I might be putting those 2700 motor, those 2700 kV Emax motors on this. This has 2500 kV right now. It flies great, but I want to test out those other motors. So those other motors, they produce 1700 grams of thrust. 1700 grams times 4 equals 15 pounds of thrust on a mini quad. So that means I'm getting, excuse me, that means I'm getting 15 pounds of thrust. It's getting a 15-to-1 power to weight ratio. So because these are right about a pound with a battery all up. So really, really cool. So this is the other one I fly. I bought this one. This is the Morpheus X. This one was sent to me for review, and he's a local guy near my office here. This is one of the best built frames I've ever witnessed. It's got the sides of the carbon is so well finished. I've never seen such a good finish on carbon ever, hands down. So I had this one flying, and I actually flew this one up to 110 miles an hour. I had to take the components off, so I'm going to be rebuilding this one up because I love this cage up here. Even though it looks like it could be fragile, it's got standoffs going all the way through here. It also has a video transmitter tray right here to pull your antenna straight out, and it's got this little protector on there. Really novel idea. And also the carbon, you can see this little tooth. Basically, this is how it's held onto the top plate. You can take this off if you want to. It's hot swappable, so you just take off 3 screws here, pop the whole pod off, and you can stick it on another quad if you really wanted to. So really, really, really cool. All right, let's take a look. Matthew Ogborn style. We'll take a look at the chat, see what you guys are talking about. Hang on a second. RC Aviation. I really like the something better than the Lemon Arcs. I have the phone turned around and my tripod is blocking some of that. So the clouds on 8 amps from Stick Mixer, unbelievable. All right, let's see. And Matthew Ogborn, and it can carry 20,000 milliamps of batteries at the clouds. I know that clouds is pretty amazing, but you still need an FX79. It's a classic. You gotta have classic planes like there. All right, so great plans. 7 Demo 7 is a celebrity in Europe. That's so funny, dude. I actually Stick Mix and I, Rudy, we got to call each other on Google, the VoIP or whatever it is, and we had a really great conversation. He's a really awesome dude. I mean, we just talked, and he's like, dude, you've got a huge following over here, and beyond the United States, Europe is my next watched demographic. So, and speaking of demographics, I know a lot about you guys through YouTube demographics and analytics. So I know that most of you guys are anywhere between 25 and 40 or 50 years old. So that's a real interesting metric for me. So I know that most of you guys are going to have some money to buy things, which is really cool. And that you guys are not like school age kids. So my audience is primarily males that are 25 to 42 or something like that. So that's really great. So that means I can relate to you guys. That means a lot of you guys are gonna have kids, so you can relate to me with my kids as whatnot. And just as far as like Matthew and I have talked about a lot of times, it's a huge community. I mean, a lot of the products I have, you guys have. You guys have a lot of questions about them. So that's why I like about doing these live events, being able to show some of the questions and some of the answers that we come up with. So I'm really appreciating it. And that's one of the things that Matthew actually reminded me about how he was really pretty overwhelmed with like the community and the community support. And it's a little bit how Flight Test got started. They were really involved in community building, and they still are, which they were a huge influence for my channel as well. So guys, for the question and answer for next time, for Wednesday, put down in the description, like, who was your biggest influencers when you first got into the hobby? Like, who did you look to for information? Like, for me, it was RC Model Reviews, RC Flight Test, obviously Flight Test. But there's also a couple other channels out there. Like, there's the guy up in Canada, which is... he's the Canadian guy that does a lot of cars. RC Sparks, that guy's amazing. So it's pretty cool. He has millions of followers, which is amazing. He's actually quite the celebrity up in Canada. So, but yeah, guys, tell me who some of your influencers were. I knew like nothing about this stuff when I first got into it about 4 years ago. But beyond what I built when I was a kid, I built a Gentle Lady when I was like 15. But I had no one to show me what to do, so my interest just went like that. So anyway, so guys, save those comments for if you could put some comments down in the description once this video is finished, and just let me know who were your biggest influencers, and I'll see if I can we can compare notes, as it were. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. I gotta run and have some lunch. I gotta pick up my kids from school, which is pretty awesome. I can do that in the middle of the day because I'm self-employed. So I'm very lucky like that. So if you guys are here late and you wanted to see the Mini Drak, here it is. She is ready to go. She is flight ready right now. No FPV. The build quality, or the difference between this and the larger size Drak, the build is so much faster on this because there's so much in materials that you just don't want to get wrong. So a lot of times you take the build a little bit slower. So and a lot of you guys have asked me, like, how do I balance family life, and I have 2 jobs and I also have a YouTube channel. How do I manage all that? Well, for the last 2 nights, I've gone to bed at 2 in the morning. So that's why Matthew was out in the field. He's like, "Hey, Jeff's here." He's like, "It's got to be like 4 in the morning over there." So I'm like, "Yeah, it's about 2 in the morning." I was driving home. So, but for the last 2 nights, I decided I wanted to bang out this build. I think it came out pretty awesome, even though there's a couple flaws in there. And I love the paint job. I'm not super crazy about it, but we'll see when it gets up in the air. It'll probably be nice and nice and visible. So, oh yeah, Matthew, check that out. There's the Sky Hunter. That's the mini Sky Hunter. The motor pod's broken off. The front has been smashed multiple times. That's where all Sky Hunters get to go, on the wall for wall art. And that note, guys. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys go kick ass today. Go fly some airplanes, and I'll see you guys. Hopefully tomorrow morning, if I'm gonna be doing my live, if I'm gonna be doing a live maiden on my Drak, I'll put a note in my Facebook group. And Fishy Comics, welcome. You're here right at the very end, unfortunately. So go back and watch this when it hits YouTube. But so, like I said, I will give you guys a note on Facebook whether the live maiden is going to happen, and I will talk to you guys later. And does this sound any better? Hello. All right, guys. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.